What's up, Karptastic ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode in this PTCGO series. I am happy to have you here with me today on Wednesday because it is time for the Wizard Wednesday challenge. In this challenge, the deck wizard from the PTCGO creates a deck for us based around a certain Pokemon duo. And when the deck is created, I get to adjust the list from the deck wizard, but there is a catch, there is a constraint. My final list may not have more than 10 differences with the original deck wizard's list. So within this constraint, I need to think very carefully and very deeply about the cards that I want to leave in the deck or that I want to take out of the deck generated by the deck wizard in order to make it as viable as it can be within that particular constraint. Now last week we built, or the deck wizard created a deck for us around Charizard EX and Pyroar, and I asked you for your input for today's Pokemon duo, and luckily someone replied in the comments. It was Smashy Pumpkin, and Smashy Pumpkin suggested that today we should build a deck around a lightning Pokemon in standard. I will look him up, and it is Magnezone. Oh, it doesn't work, the search function. That's kind of strange. So we'll have to go through it manually and see if we can find Magnezone. So the suggestion was to build around Magnezone EX, and so here is the Magnezone EX, as well as then I suggested to him might as well add another Magnezone to the deck, being this Magnezone from the breakthrough expansion with the magnetic circuit, which allows us to attach an energy card from our hand to one of our Pokemon as often as we like during our turn. So it will be about, or the deck wizard will generate a deck around these two here. It will be a complete Magnezone deck. Let's see what the deck wizard has in store for us. Please wait while the deck is being generated, and here it is. This is the deck. So let's go to a little bit of a easier overview and let's go over the deck quickly. Look at that. The deck wizard said we need to use 4 Shaymins in our deck. 4 Shaymins, that's incredible. Then we have a 2-2-2 line of Magnemite, Magneton, Magnezone, and then we have 4 Magnezone EXs as well as a Manectric, a Mega Manectric, and 4 Thunderous EX. Tons of lightning Pokemon in this deck generated by the deck wizard. We have, of course, 20 energies, as is the case with all decks generated by the deck wizard, because if we look at the top here, there is a 20-20-20 ratio, 20 Pokemon, 20 trainers, 20 energies. Then the trainers, 4 hand scopes, 1 Pokemon catcher, let's see how many potions, 2 potions, 2 red cards, 1 Archie's Ace in a Hole. This is the most useful card in this deck for sure, because we run tons of water Pokemon. 2 Cassius, and then let's see, 2 Birches, 1 Tierno, and 2 Scorched Earth. And the Spirit Link of the day, the lucky charm of the day, is Houndoom Spirit Link, and 3 of those. And that is the list generated by the deck wizard. Okay, so I will cut here, make some changes to the deck. We'll go over the changes, and then we will go into the battles and see if this deck can pull off a win. Alright, I am back with the updated deck list. I made some changes, and there should be no more than 10 differences with the original list. Before we go over the adjusted list, let me quickly make clear once more what is considered a difference. A difference is either when you've taken out, or when I've taken out a card, when I've put in a new card, when I've replaced a card, or when I've lowered the count of a card in the original list. So the 10 differences are: I added 1 Magnemite, that's the first difference. I went from 2 to 3. Then I took out the Thunderous here, so that's the second change. And then I replaced Handscope with 2 Professor's Letters, that's number 3. I added in 4 Ultra Balls as well as 4 VS Seekers, those are changes 4 and 5. Then let's see, I increased the count of the Birches to 4. Then I added in 2 Sycamores, those are changes numbers 6 and 7. We still have 1 Tierno. I replaced the Scorched Earth with 2 copies of a Rough Seas. That's number 8. Then number 9 is that I replaced the Houndoom Spirit Link with the Muscle Band. I know it was a tough call to replace the Lucky Charm Houndoom Spirit Link with these Muscle Bands. And finally, change number 10. So the Muscle Bands were number 9. Change number 10 is that I lowered the count of the Lightning Energies from 20 to 12, and those are the changes that I decided to make. Now my question to you is, how would you have adjusted the original deck wizards list? Feel free to send me a link to a picture of your adjusted list within, of course, the constraint as described. If I like it, I might feature it in my next video, might even give you some free packs for it. Check the Reddit link for that down in the description below. And also don't forget to let me know down in the comments what or which Pokemon duo you want to see the Wizard Challenge be built around for next Wednesday's video. And that's gonna be it for the deck analysis. I think it is more than time now for us to go and find ourselves some opponents and see if we can pull off a win. Alright, on to game number 2. We lost the first game. Can we pull it off in this game? How many games will it take for us to win a match? The first game, I'm not going to include it in the recording because it was very one-sided. Magnezone basically got destroyed. Yeah, we got utterly destroyed by a fairy deck. It was not very pretty to see, but we were lacking a lot of draw in our hands, so pretty unlucky with the draws. And the fairy deck is very fast. Once it gets going, it's very tough to to counter if you can't one-hit KO those Mega Gardevoirs, which Magnezone cannot do, because Magnezone hits for 70 at most if you attach a muscle band with a dual bullet. Of course 50 to the bench. Let's see, we will attach to the Magnezone, then we will discard these two. We'll keep the potion in our hand. It's actually very helpful against the Toad. I will go for a Magnemite so that we can start evolving into the Magnezone. We only have one Magnezone in our deck, so we should keep it there. It's in our hand here. We should not discard it if we can. Let's see what we draw into. We draw into a Muscle Band, a Manectric, and another Shaman. We need to draw to as many cards as we can. Actually, I was wrong. This potion does not come in handy at all, because it's an item card. Once the Toad starts looking us, we cannot use it, so that was pretty dumb to say of me. Let's see what we should go with here. Should we go with the Cherno? I think we'll go with the Cherno for now. We can use the Burge next turn. And here we go. We get a ton of stuff. I will use the Professor's Letter, getting rid of those item cards in our deck, and then I will discard this potion and the Magnezone, and I will get a Magneton for the next turn. I think that's a pretty good play here, and we will end our turn. So we are nearly ready here. We are nearly set up. That was a pretty good first turn, unlike against the fairy deck that I played against. Yeah, that was pretty sad to watch. Very sad. So the Seismitoad gets a Fighting Fury belt attached, meaning it has 220 hit points, which is ridiculous. That's going to take us ages to knock out. Ages, I tell you. That's going to take us a while to deal with. Here comes the DCE. We will get hit for 30. We will get hit by a judge as well. That means we don't have the Magneton in our hand anymore, which is that's kind of a disaster here. But we do draw into a Sycamore, which is pretty good. We will hit the Seismitoad for 60. We got hit for 40. And here's another Professor's Letter, which we cannot use. I will bench one more Magnezone, and then I will go with the Sycamore, discarding the Cassius, unfortunately. And here is the Magneton, so we do get the Magneton. And that will be it for this turn. We'll hit the Seismitoad for 60. And next turn we should be able to hit it for 70. And 50 to the bench, 50 on the Remoraid. Unless my opponent benches another Pokemon. Benches another Seismitoad, so we'll put it on the Seismitoad. As long as we don't get hammered down, we should be fine here. That's the only thing I'm worrying about right now. Hammers. I don't want to see hammers. Here is a red card. We had a red card in our hand as well. And we get hit with a pretty good hand. We get the energy. We get another muscle band that we cannot use. We get a sycamore, a shaming we cannot use, so we can attach the energy. Then we can use the sycamore and dig through our deck a little bit more, trying to hit that Magnezone. And here comes the Slowpoke, which is going to be a big annoyance. That is going to be able to move energies from our Magnezone EX to our benched Pokemon. So we need to deal with this Slowpoke as soon as possible. I'm going to put 50 on the Slowpoke. We get hit by a Quaking Punch again. That's okay. We can heal off the damage with the Stadium. My opponent can do that as well, but I don't want to worry about that for now. So here is the Magnezone. Excellent stuff. And we will dual bullet. Put 70 on the Toad and 50 on the Slowpoke. We don't want to deal with the Slowking at all. It's not fun to deal with whatsoever. And another red card. Are you kidding me? My opponent has so many red cards. That's insane. For now, we won't attach any energies. I want to see what's going to happen with the Slowking, where he will move the energies. If he moves energies from our Magnezone to our Shaman, we can use the Magnezone from our Magnezone EX. So we can use the Magnezone here to attach energies from our hand to our Magnezone in the active spot. Or we could retreat into the Shaman, do a Sky Return, get those energies back into our hand. Unfortunately, we would have to burn energies on our Magnezone EX then. Yeah, we can't retreat, because if the energies got moved to our Shaman, we don't have enough energies to retreat. So, unless we get a Cassius or something. Here comes a Faded Town, we'll get hit by another Quaking Punch, but we will knock out the Toad. No problem whatsoever. So, let's see. We should manage to stay alive against the other Toad for one more turn. I will attach this to the Magnezone on the bench. After all, this is a Magnezone EX deck. Might as well attach another energy. And then we'll go with the Birch. Birch 4. 7, yes. Wow, fantastic. And here is the Stadium, so we will make use of the Stadium before my opponent can heal up a little bit. And hit for the dual bullet and 50 on that Slowpoke. At least we have gotten rid of the Slowpoke then. That is one less Slowpoke to deal with for us. Oh wait, we didn't knock out the Seismitoad because it got 120 hit points. I completely forgot about that. Oh, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, so we will have to give it one more hit, and I will put 50 on the Slowpoke again. I'm not too worried about the Seismitoad on the bench. It doesn't hit very hard. So, Tails for my opponent. Excellent. This should be the last red card of my opponent. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's got one more in his deck probably. And here comes the Slowking. We do have one energy in our hand which we can use to attach to the Magnezone in the active spot if the energy gets moved with Slowking's ability. The ability Royal Flash. Once during your turn, you may flip a coin if adds moving energy from your opponent's active Pokemon to one of his benched Pokemon. And our opponent countered our Stadium. Oh no, and here is the heads. He does get to move the energy, which is pretty unfortunate. Where does he move it to? To the Shaman probably. Yes, to the Shaman. And that's okay. At some point our Magnezone in the active spot will get knocked out and we can do a Sky Return with the Shaman. While my opponent powers up the Seismitoad for a Grenade Hammer. And that's pretty interesting. Oh, we get a Cassius. Look at that. A Cassius. I could actually Cassius this Magnezone back into my deck. Wow, that's actually amazing. And I think I will do that. We will Cassius this one back into our deck. We hit for 50 on the Seismitoad in the active spot, which is a knockout. So that's good. I will use the Cassius. Get that Magnezone back into our deck, and I will put this Magnezone in the active spot. Knock out that big ugly Toad, and hopefully we can get something good from the prizes. I will also put 50 on the Slowking. It should only take 2 turns to knock out the Slowking then. And just like that, we are ahead in the prizes. We are 3-6, but by no means have we won the game here, because this Seismitoad will keep locking us. I can also see a grenade hammer, which is going to be very painful for us. We can't survive many grenade hammers. We might have to use the Magnezone EX with the assault laser to do 130. Here comes the delinquent. We have to discard 3 cards from our hand, and we will discard this and this and this here. And that's pretty good. Keep the VS Seeker, although I think we will get item locked. If we don't, we can use the Sycamore in our discard pile. We get hit for a Quaking Punch, so it is an item lock. Our opponent does decide to keep the item lock going. We get hit by a red card, or we draw into a red card. We don't get hit by it. Oh man, I'm so excited here. Can we pull off this game? If only we had a little bit of draw support. We are going to take one more prize with the dual bullet. Yeah, I will put it on the Toad and then 50 on the Slowking. Next turn we will start putting it on the Octillery. And let's see what we can get here. It is a Shaman, excellent. That Shaman can be used for draw support, because we have a free spot on our bench. What I really want to do now is power up that Manectric. That's what I really want to do at the moment. Power up that Manectric so that we can go for an assault laser for 130. And here comes another Toad. Are you kidding me? Another Toad. And also no grenade hammer for now. My opponent decides to attach to the Toad on the bench with the water energy. That means we'll get hit for another 40, which leaves us with doing 50 to the Toad and then 50 to the Octillery. We will put down the Shaman here. Draw into 2 more cards. Hopefully we can get something here, and no, we do not. This is very, very unfortunate. So dual bullet it is. Dual bullet here, and might as well put 50 on that Toad on the bench. Dual bullet everywhere. Yeah, that's right. My heart is pounding here. My heart is pounding. Yeah, I would be so happy if we could pull off the win against the Toad with this Magnezone deck. But we need those energies. We need more energies. We have 1 energy in our discard pile, and that's it. We have so many more in our deck. We have 4 on play. And here comes the Cassius from my opponent. My opponent has a Cassius in his deck as well, which means we... yeah, the damage we did, it got erased. But this Toad does not have a Fighting Fury Belt on it, which means it only hits for 30 and it only has 180 hit points. So we will go for another dual bullet, and we should be able to knock out the Octillery next turn. Here comes the Fighting Fury Belt. If only we could get the Manectric going now. That's the only thing we need at the moment. We hit for the knockout with the Manectric right now. Will my opponent decide to... Oh no! Oh no! We will get hit with the Grenade Hammer. Will my opponent hit with the Grenade Hammer? Will he allow us the use of item cards? This Manectric will hit for 150 plus 70 is 220. That will knock out the Seismitoad. We only need those 2 energies. That's the only thing we need. So we get hit with a Grenade Hammer. We are allowed the use of item cards right now. Wow, can we pull it off? I'm going to promote the Manectric. This is all or nothing. Or actually, I'm going to promote the Shaman. We can retreat the Shaman. Or we can let it get knocked out if we don't get the energies. And I will put down this Magnezone. I will attach the Muscle Band. I will thin out my deck a little bit. Discard those red cards. This is going to be the final or the decisive play in the game here. We need 2 energies. That's all we need. I'll go for this Sycamore. Sycamore away, these 3, and hopefully we can draw into 2 energies. Do we see 2 energies? 1, 2 energies! Yes, we got it! This is it. We are going to retreat the Shaman into the Manectric. Use the magnetic circuit from the Magnezone on the bench and attach to the Manectric here. Wow. I'll even attach this muscle band just for lulz, and we should hit for the game here, for the knockout. Wait, no, wait, that's not true. It does 60 and 60. I thought it did 60 and 70. So 60 and 60 is 120. That's 140. The Toad will stay alive. Are you kidding me? With 10 hit points. Oh my goodness. That's insane. But still, we should be able to take the game this turn. My opponent does not have anything on his bench ready to go. We should be able to pull it off in this turn. My goodness, I overlooked those things just because I am so very tensed up. I'm so excited. My heart is racing right now because I never thought this Magnezone deck would be able to pull it off against a Toad deck. So I completely missed out that it was 60 and 60. I thought it was 60 and 70. Yeah. Oh my goodness. And it is victory. My opponent concedes the match. We did it. We freaking did it. We beat the Toad deck with the Slowking. I think our tactics were pretty good here. I mean, there was the mistake that 60 and 60 is that it wasn't a knockout, and there was I think some other mistakes there as well at some point. But I think we spread out the damage really wisely. We got rid of these Slowkings before they could annoy us, before they could move our energies around, and that would have been pretty bad for us. I think that could have closed out the game for my opponent, but we got rid of them with the Magnezone, with the dual bullet before it was an annoyance. And basically that's why I think we took the game here, because of the ability to hit the bench with the dual bullet. Let's take a look at the stats quickly. We did 840 damage versus 440 with my opponent. We drew into 77 cards. Can you believe it? That's insane. Wow, that is freaking insane. I think I'll find ourselves one last opponent for today. So it only took 2 matches to get to a win, and it was a win against a Seismitoad deck of all things. But I feel like playing one more third match, whether we lose or win, it doesn't matter. Let's just have some fun. Alright, we are facing Onoman with a Fighting Fire and a colorless deck, Fighting and Fire. That's one of these times where you are facing a combination in a deck that you don't see too often, such as Fighting and Fire. I don't remember ever playing against a Fighting Fire deck. We'll go first. I was about to say we go for heads, but it was my opponent calling the coin flip. We start off with a Shaman again. My goodness, so many Shaman starts. Oh, it is a Tyrantrum deck, which blocks EX damage. So yeah, that's going to be a problem. Let's take a look here. We can't take a look at it. Whatever, whatevs. We'll take a look at it later for sure. I'm pretty sure we'll be facing it in the active spot. Oh wow, Jesus Christ, my opponent keeps mulligan here. Maybe we can get a Cassius again to retreat the Shin. At least we will be able to use our item cards this time around. We'll draw into a ton of cards, 3 more cards. We do get the Magnemite, which is excellent. And we are facing an Eevee, and here's the Magnezone. So we got everything we needed from our top deck. Might as well use the Birch right now and see what we can get from the Birch. It is heads, flipping heads, yes. Wow, I am so happy. We'll put down another Magnemite, we'll attach the muscle band, and we'll end our turn for now. Next turn, I'm going to try and dig for the Cassius if I can, if my hand allows it. I can attach an energy. Depending on what I draw, I may be able to use the cards, and that means we would be left with 3 cards. I could play down the Shaman and then draw into 3 more cards and hopefully start digging from there. That's the plan for now. We see the Scorched Earth. My opponent's going to use the Scorched Earth for draw support with Fire Energies, I think. I think we saw Fire Energies in my opponent's deck. And here comes the Corina. I'm wondering what the Eevee might be used for. Maybe for the Flareon and the Jolteon evolutions. One problem is we are, for sure, fighting weak. And that's a really big problem with this Magnezone here. Very, very big problem actually. Come to think about it. Because we will get hit hard. Oh, and a Lucario EX, so tons of fighting Pokemon, tons of heavy hitters. Oh yes, this is going to be a massacre on our side. I'm going for the one knockout. I want to get one knockout and then I will be happy. But I don't think we'll be able to get any more out of this deck than that. And my opponent does get the switches into the Lucario, which can one-hit KO our Magnezone. Oh, poor Magnezone will go down. But we might be able to KO the Eevee with a dual bullet. And that's the plan here. KO that Eevee with a dual bullet. And we draw into a Shaman. I'll put down one Shaman. See what we can draw into with that Shaman. We draw into a Muscle Band. Not very useful right now. We'll go with the Birch. And again heads. Man, I am amazed. There's so many heads. And here is the Cassius. So next turn we can go for the Cassius. And I will also go for the Professor's Letter. Thin out our deck a little bit more. And then we will red card our opponent. See, give him 4 different cards. Hopefully we didn't make his hand any better. And we'll end our turn. Leave it at that. Next turn is Cassius' turn. We'll go for the knockout on the Eevee, and probably after that we will sit duck and watch our Pokemon get destroyed by my opponent's Pokemon. I think that's what's going to happen here. Hopefully not. I am really hoping for a win, but you have to face the reality here. Reality is that we are fighting weak. That this Lucario does 60 here already without a strong energy, without a muscle band. So 60 times 20 is 120. So with a strong energy, muscle band, or the correct stadium, that would be a one-hit knockout on the Magnezone EX. That means taking 2 prizes, and we are only doing 70 to the Lucario, meaning we need 3 hits with the Magnezone, or we need 3 Magnezone to knock out 1 Lucario. 3 Magnezone. That is 6 prizes, and 6 prizes is enough to take the game from my opponent. Given that we can power up 3 Magnezone, which isn't very likely at all either. So it seems like my opponent got a pretty good hand from that red card. So red card failed us big time. Ideally he would have gotten nothing to work with, meaning the Lucario would have attacked for 30 again on the Shaman, which would be ideal. Here's the Battle Compressor for Lysander, Fossil Researcher, and Professor Sycamore. And the Landorus comes down as well, and we get hit. So no energy attachment. Okay, that leaves us some possibilities. We draw into the Archie's Ace in the Hole. Excellent stuff here. Archie Ace in the Hole. We will promote the Magnezone, attach an energy, and we'll go for the Birch once more. Today is Birch Day, apparently. We need a Magnezone. Oh yeah, I used the Cassius. Completely forgot. I used the Cassius. I used it 10 seconds ago and I already forgot. And here we go. We'll go for the knockout on the Eevee. Take at least 1 prize this game. And that's all I'm after, that 1 prize. So this game is already a big success for me. If we manage to stay alive this turn, it is an even bigger success. So my opponent does need a strong energy. Would do 80. 80 times 2 is 160, and a muscle band that would do 100 times 2. So strong energy and a muscle band and the stadium, or strong energy and the stadium, the fighting stadium. That's all that my opponent needs. Discards a whole ton of cards here. Tyrant, Tyrantrum, Blacksmith. What kind of fire Pokemon is my opponent running that he plays Blacksmith? That's the question. I'm very curious there. I'm very curious. So I think we will actually stay alive this turn, and we might be able to power up this Magnezone. All we need is that Magneton And then also here's the strong energy, a Magneton, and then we can evolve into the Magnezone. Turn after that, we get hit for weakness 160. Might as well play down the stadium, heal off a little bit. We will play down this Magnezone, this Muscle Band, this energy, and then we'll go for the Birch. Can we hit the Magneton or a Ultra Ball? Look at that, those Birches, we are flipping heads big time. Oh, we even get this here. I'll keep the potion in my hand. I will, or maybe not. Let's see here. I'll discard the Cassius and a potion. I will go with the Magneton. And then a turn after that we can go with the Magnezone. You also have a Tierno, so I think that's the play here today. That's the play that we need to do, and we'll hit for a dual bullet 70 on the Lucario. And then let's see, the biggest threat is this Hawlucha. That's the biggest threat right now. And next turn we should be able to knock it out just with the Electro Ball. That should be a knockout on the Lucario, meaning we take 2 more prizes, which is amazing. If we can get the Magnezone into play, we can knock out the Lucario as well as the Hawlucha, which means we take 3 more prizes, bring ourselves down to 2 prizes. Who would have expected that at the start of this game? That's insane. I would not have expected that. And my opponent's down to 15 cards, attaches a energy to the Landorus, which hits for 40 with the weakness. We will get hits for a ton of damage. Corkscrew Smash for 160. That is a knockout. And for the moment, my opponent is ahead in the prizes, but we will take the lead here. No matter what happens, we will take the lead. Now, oh, the question here is, do I go for the Sycamore or the Tierno? That's a tough one. We have 1 Ultra Ball in our discard pile, so that means we have at least 1 more somewhere in our deck, if not 2 Ultra Balls are prized. So I'll go with the Sycamore, discarding that Stadium, unfortunately. We get the Magnezone. That's something. We don't have an energy, so I will use the Ultra Ball, go for the Shaman. We have 2 more Shaman in our deck, and we should be able to draw into some energies that way. I'll also use the red card, discard that huge hand size of my opponent a little bit, because that's just ridiculous. Like, come on. That is a ridiculous hand size. And we draw into the energy that we needed. Fantastic. We will even attach it to the Magnezone, and we will leave it at that. We'll go for the dual bullet. 70 here and 50 there. Bring ourselves down to 2 prizes, and just like that, the Landorus is the only thing that my opponent has ready on his bench. And we even draw into the Manectric, so I could actually put the Manectric in the active spot at some point. We could actually do that. Wow, can we pull off the game? Can we pull off the game? That would be insane. So my opponent did play Flareon. That's pretty interesting. Will we see another Lucario EX come down? Another one. Whatever Pokemon my opponent puts on the bench, we can hit it with the dual bullet, prepare it, soften it up for the knockout. For sure. All we need now, oh, so we do see a starting Megaphone. We have 1 Muscle Band in the discard pile. We should have 1 more in our deck. We can use the Cassius with the VS Seeker if we really need to shuffle this Magnezone in our deck. Get hit for 40. Opponent will attach to the Lucario on the bench. Let's see here. Does my opponent play Muscle Band or anything like that? We haven't seen it yet. This Manectric is only helpful if my opponent plays Muscle Band. This is a tough call. I feel like this call can decide the game. Do we play a Manectric down or a Magnezone EX? That's the question at the moment. Yeah, that's really tough. I'm going to go with the Manectric. I think that's the safest bet. We'll take 2 energies from our deck and we will attach them to the Manectric. We can shuffle back the Magnezone if it stays alive next turn. And yeah, that's going to be the plan here. I'm not sure if I made the right decision. Could also have gone with the Magnezone actually for Thunder Blast, but what I really want to get is a Muscle Band at the moment, or at some point. So I'll actually go for the Birch, see if we can get a Muscle Band, and this time it is Tails. We do get a Mega Manectric. Actually, that's pretty interesting. We could use a Mega Manectric. Oh wait, we do have another stadium as well. Look at that. I had the idea in my mind that I was playing 2 stadiums, but we have 3 in our deck. Yeah, we could actually evolve into the Mega Manectric at some point and use the Turbo Bolt. That could actually be a viable play. We'll go for the Dual Bullet for now. And then we might shuffle back the Magnezone into our deck with the Cassius. We do have the VS Seekers in our hand to perform that operation, that plan, which would prevent our opponent from getting a knockout. Right now we are not in knockout danger unless we see a stadium and the strong energy. Very, very intense here. Very, very, very intense game. Wow, wow, wow. I was not expecting it to be this long of a game at all. Not at all. I was expecting us to go down very quickly, but for some reason we managed to pull through, and here comes the Lucario with the strong energy. Do we see a Muscle Band? If not, we stay alive, and we stay alive. Amazing, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. I will heal off, why not? And then I will, let's see here. I will go for the Cassius. I think that's the safest bet right now. Cassius onto the Magnezone. And we will promote the Shaman while we evolve into the Mega Manectric EX. Yeah, so we'll promote the Magnemite actually. What am I saying? The Shaman. Why will we promote the Shaman? We'll promote the Magnemite. We'll keep this energy in our hand. We might attach it to the Magnezone actually. Let's keep it in our hand for now. And we will evolve into Mega Manectric EX for the turn. If my opponent does not have a Lysandre, we should be safe. If he has a Lysandre, then it is very likely that we are in big trouble. Then we are definitely in big trouble. We have nothing on our bench. We need to rely on the Sycamore on the draws and then to get something powered up. But whatever the case, we should still be able to power something up even if this Mega Manectric gets knocked out. We have a Magnezone on the bench. Here comes another Eevee. I'm not sure why my opponent plays down that Eevee. Fails to get out the Flareon because it's in the discard pile. Where is it? There is it. We saw it. Top right, bottom right. Only one Flareon in my opponent's deck. or one is prized. Oh, and even Tyrantrums come out to play. Lots of things. My opponent is powering up lots of things here for some reason. You see a battle compressor. Unfortunately, this Turbo Bolt will be short, knocking out this Lucario unless we can get a Muscle Band. That would do 130. That would be the knockout for the game. So we are searching on the lookout for the Muscle Band. We'll promote the Mega Manectric with a free retreat. Oh, and we even get 2 energy. So I will actually power up the Magnezone on the bench. Why not? That seems like a pretty good idea. And then we'll go with the Sycamore. I think that's our safest bet as well. At least we have one attacker ready then if this Mega Manectric goes down. We just need to hit that Muscle Band. And we do hit the Muscle Band. This is game. This is unbelievable. Let's calculate it up, because last game I said it's game as well. But 110 plus 20, that's 130. 130 plus 50, that's 180. Yes, this should be game. Might as well bench this Magnezone just for lulz. And we'll go for the knockout and take the game against Lucario EX with Magnezone, and even attach 2 energies from our discard pile to the Magnezone here. That is insane. That, oh my goodness, I have said insane so many times today, but I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. This is really, truly amazing. Truly amazing. Dual bullet for the win. Dual bullet from Magnezone for the win. For reals is here. Like, I was so skeptical, however you want to say it, against Magnezone EX. I thought today was going to be very tough, and it was kind of very tough to play with it, but it pulled off the wins, and that is, wow, I am in awe. I am amazed. Magnezone is forever at the top of the list of underdogs there for me from now on. That is amazing. So that will be it for today's matches. I hope you enjoyed it as thoroughly as I did. I hope you experienced the same tension. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to my channel for more Wizard Wednesday challenges, for more competitive decks, and for more fun deck ideas. I hope you have a truly carptastic day, and I will see you next time.
Karp, 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 Karp.